Episode number 85 of the Monday Morning Worship Leader, a Planning Maxim.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures give His glory. Praise Him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Hey guys, Brother John here. So good to be with you on this December morning, this Monday morning, the Monday Morning Podcast. I am a worship pastor in a mid-sized Southern Baptist church in St. Louis, Missouri, and once a week I just like to get with you and talk about all things worship. And sometimes we talk about the theology of worship. Sometimes we talk about the practicalities of leading worship, what that looks like. And today is going to be kind of one of those, but I'm going to even go a little bit deeper. Hey, before I continue on, I just want to remind you, you can always contact me through my email at John, John, at biblicaltrumpets.org. John at biblicaltrumpets, one word, .org. I would love to hear from you. And if you want to even leave a short video snippet, I might be able to put it on the podcast. So anyway, I hope you're enjoying the podcast, and I hope that things are lining out for you Christmas-wise. Well, as I have indicated before, I've been doing this for 30-some odd years. I've been leading worship at churches. I've been having large Christmas programs. Used to do Easter pageants. I've done so many of these kind of things. I'm not going to ever say it's old hat, but there are some things that now repeat themselves. And what I want to talk to you today about is how a horrible little thing that happened to me on one Christmas season allowed me to really refocus how I do ministry. And that little thing was this. We had a living Christmas tree, probably 25 years ago. And we were going to sing with a track on at least two songs. The rest of the songs, they were live, but we were going to do two tracks. And this was back before you could get MP3 downloads. I know this is something you may not even be able to remember. It was a CD that we had to use, and we had to use it. And so we got into the week before the performance, and my desk was a mess. Everything was a mess. I was just all over the place. And 1 week before the performance, I could not find the CDs anywhere. Nowhere to be found. Did I make a backup? No. Did I put it on my computer? No. I didn't do anything that was going to help me have a backup system whatsoever. Guess what happened? I found those two CDs in February. It didn't help me in December. We actually had to scrap the two songs I was doing, which just broke my heart. But it made me decide that I was going to do a bit of a turnaround in how I do ministry, and I was going to start getting organized. So instead of going to a music conference like I used to do every year, I went to a time management conference. And you know, there was a lot of stuff thrown at me at that time management conference, but what I wanted to share with you today is just a statement that was thrown at me that really changed the way I do things even today. Here it is, and it will be in the show notes as well. Plan a day once a day. Plan a week once a week. Plan a month once a month. Plan a year once a year. I'm going to probably lean a little bit more into the last statement, but I want to touch on the first three. First of all, plan a day once a day. Usually at night, I like to look at my calendar. I like to look at things and say, okay, what does tomorrow look like? So nothing takes me by surprise. Even planning out when I'm going to do some writing or when I'm going to do some desk work that requires some focused attention. When am I going to do that? So I plan that day once a day. But I plan a week once a week. On Sundays, I'm recording this podcast on Sunday morning before church. On Sundays, I will set aside some time, usually Sunday evening, and I will take a look at my week coming. So I don't have any surprises, and just make sure everything is in place for that week. Then plan a month once a month. Usually on my last Friday of the month, I schedule in about an hour or two to take a look at the month coming and see what I need to do to make sure I've got everything in order so that my month coming is looking good, looking safe, looking doable. But I also do a yearly planning. Now, I've done this many different ways. I'll share with you some ideas. Our year planning, actually, I'm going to be doing with my pastor in the first week of January. But I'm going ahead and getting some things done and ready to go before that. But what I'll do for planning planning a year once a year is I will set aside usually a day and a half where I hold myself up with all my music, with everything that I'm wanting to do. What am I wanting to accomplish this year? Looking at last year, what did I need to do better last year? And I just plan it all out. I even, because I use Planning Center online, I even go ahead and I schedule 52 Sundays out. I schedule a year worth of Sundays. It's easily done in Planning Center. It'll take you less than an hour to get all of those. And that's really stretching it, honestly. It'd take you less than 30 minutes to set aside 52 Sundays ahead of you. That way you can start filling in the blanks early. The big blanks can be filled in if you know, like for instance, when you're doing your baptisms, when you're doing your Lord's Supper, when you're doing some of these big things, when you have this big event, you have this big event. Go ahead and planning those, getting those set, and then determining really what your goal is for the coming year. The pastor and I, we sat down and talked just the other day. What is our goal for next year as far as the worship service is concerned? And so you angle that year planning toward that goal. Also, during that time, you can be looking at what, first of all, you should know when Easter is for next year. You should already know that. You should kind of live with that date in your back pocket.
April 5th, 2026.
That's right. It's April 5th. And so you need to be thinking now about next year, about Easter. Also looking at things like, do you do a God and Country service? Where do you want that to fall? July 4th-ish. Also, what's Christmas look like for you next year? Are there things that you're wanting to do, things you're wanting to take away? What do you need to have in place there? Then think about personnel, think about all of these things that really are important to your worship ministry. And above everything else, spend time in prayer over this material so that when you put it together, you will be ready to go. So plan a day once a day, plan a week once a week, plan a month once a month, plan a year once a year. And right now is the perfect time to be thinking about planning that year. After Christmas, you're going to have a little bit of downtime. It's a perfect time to plan 2026. I hope you find those to be good words. A great book by Tim Chailles, which kind of goes along with this. Now, the plan a day, plan a week, once a week, plan a month, plan a year, once a year, did not come out of this book. But he wrote this book called Do More Better. I really like this book. He's very practical. He talks about using Todoist and Evernote and calendaring. And just really, he's focused on the ministerial side of getting your time management under control. And so I really highly recommend that book, Do More Better. And that's it for the podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found something to take away from it. And remember, my friends, we are not rock stars. We are servants. May God bless you. The day after. Let's talk about it.
Next time on the podcast.